The camera cuts through thin, drifting cloud, sweeping lower over the Taihang Mountains. Below the haze, a jagged line of vertical cliff slices through the mountain range, rising sharp against the blue sky. Nothing but bare rock meets the eye at first. Nothing but straight, unbroken stone falling hundreds of feet straight down. Then the camera clears the last cloud bank, and the fortress comes into view. It is not built on top of the cliff. It is carved directly into the sheer rock face, stacked layer by layer straight up the drop. Thick white clouds billow hundreds of feet below its foundations, turning the entire structure into an island floating free in the sky. 40-foot-high megalithic blocks stack into endless walls, fitted together without a drop of mortar. Not a single blade of grass grows in the gaps between the stones. There is no sign of wear from thousands of years of wind and rain. The wind whistles through narrow arrow slits cut into every wall, and the whole fortress hangs silent against the empty sky. This is no natural stronghold. It is a building that defies gravity itself, raised by a forgotten civilization older than any recorded history. It hangs there, unchanging, unchallenged, waiting in the sky. The camera dips through a narrow, weathered stone archway, cutting off the howl of the mountain wind. It descends slowly, floating toward the fortress's open inner courtyard, where solid bedrock forms the entire floor. The air cools the further it drops, carrying the sharp, clean tang of meltwater from the high peaks. It zooms in tight on a pattern of straight, even cuts carved straight into the unyielding rock, a whole network of them, crisscrossing the entire courtyard in precise lines. Each channel is lined with smooth, polished slabs of jade, fitted perfectly into the carved grooves. Pure meltwater, melted from glacial ice far above, trickles steadily along the lined channels. As the water moves over the jade surface, the stone lights up from within. A soft, vivid blue glow spreads along every line of the network, casting shifting light over the gray stone floor of the courtyard. The glow catches the side of each channel, and worn but clear ancient symbols come into focus. No modern scholar has ever translated these shapes. No existing record matches their sharp, angular curves. The water flows past each symbol at a constant pace, never overflowing the edges, never slowing its steady forward movement. This is not a simple irrigation system for crops. It is a working, living network, still running after thousands of years, carrying something more than just water through the core of the fortress. No one alive today knows what that something is. A shadow cuts across the blue glow of the jade channels, swallowing the light for 3 full heartbeats before it passes. The camera pulls back in response, lifting slow from the courtyard floor, climbing back up the carved stone levels of the fortress. It keeps rising, past arrow slits, past vaulted stone galleries, until it reaches the highest stone balcony, perched at the very top of the cliff face. The mountain wind hits the camera full force here, carrying the sharp smell of pine and cold, clean air. A giant golden eagle drops from the empty sky, its 10-meter wingspread cutting a dark line against the blue. It lands heavily on the stone parapet, all the raw force of its dive absorbed into clawed feet. Its talons close on the granite edge, and the stone cracks with a sharp, sudden report that carries down the cliff. The bird does not flap or squawk. It settles, folds its massive wings against its back, and holds its head high, staring out over the mountains. Standing just one step away from the bird is the warrior. He does not hold the eagle on a leash. He does not even turn to look at the cracked stone or the bird at his side. He simply stands, shoulder turned toward the wind, staring out over the endless expanse of mist-shrouded mountains stretching out below. The eagle preens one golden wing, slow and deliberate, while the wind pulls at the warrior's hair. No chains bind the bird, no orders are shouted. This is how the people of Biri ruled. They did not break the natural world to bend it to their will. They walked with it, side by side, and ruled the sky together. The pair hold their pose, silent and still, while the wind keeps blowing past the stone balcony. The camera pulls away from the high balcony, cutting back to the exact center of the fortress, where a stone ziggurat rises 300 feet straight up from the bedrock. It climbs the wide, flat stone steps one level at a time, the wind fading as it gains height, until it reaches the flat, open platform at the ziggurat's peak. Sitting dead center on the platform is a massive, polished bronze mirror, 20 full feet across its curved face. The mirror is mounted on a perfectly carved stone pivot, locked into position by hand thousands of years earlier. It sits turned exactly to face the midday sun, no adjustment needed, no drift over centuries. It catches the full, unfiltered force of the sunlight, absorbs it across its entire polished surface, and concentrates every ray into a single, narrow beam of blinding white light. The beam shoots straight up from the mirror, cutting through the clear blue sky without scattering, without fading. Thousands of small quartz prisms are set into the stone walls that ring the mirror platform, each cut at a precise angle, each placed in an exact position. They catch stray fragments of the intense beam, split the white light into its base colors, and cast dozens of separate rainbows across the stone surfaces of the ziggurat. The rainbows spin and dance as the sun shifts minutely across the sky, shifting from step to step, from wall to wall, turning the entire structure into a living canvas of shifting color. This is not just an altar for worshipping the light the Huan nations held as the source of all life. It is a feat of precision engineering, calculated and carved by hand, that still works perfectly after thousands of years. Every measurement, every cut, every placement of stone and prism was deliberate. No modern builder could replicate it with the same simple tools. The sun dips below the western ridge of the Taihang Mountains, pulling its bright light off the fortress stone. The entire sky bleeds into deep, rich crimson, and the whole Biri fortress wraps itself in thick, warm orange sunset glow. Every stone, every carved wall, every faint ancient symbol drinks in the last light of the day, glowing soft against the darkening sky. The camera begins to pull back, slow and steady, moving further and further away from the fortress. It keeps pulling, past the cliff edge, past the clouds that hang below the foundations, past the nearest mountain ridges that frame the Biri stronghold. Then, beyond all that, the first faint pinprick of light appears on the peak of a distant mountain, then another, and another. Each small light marks another fortress, another hidden stronghold held by one of the 12 nations of the Huan Alliance. This is not a single isolated kingdom cut off from the world. It is just one node in a vast hidden network that stretches across the whole of northern China. The light fades slowly, the fortress dissolves into the darkening hills, and the screen fades to black. Only one question hangs in the silence. What other secrets wait in those far-off mountain peaks?